Hi, my name is Paul Tron, and in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you the very beginnings of object-oriented programming. You probably heard about object-oriented programming in the past. If not, it's something that if you plan on programming, you probably should know it. So, in order to get started, you need to know what an object is, and really that's all I'll be covering in this tutorial. So, just like usual, I'm going to open up Visual Studio, create a new project. I'm going to still stick with Windows Forms application. I'm just going to take the defaults for everything, just for now at least. So this is what's created for me. Just like usual, if I press F7, it'll take me to the code behind the form. If I hold Shift F7, it'll bring me back. And then once I do that, I can, bounce between them, do whatever. So, right off the bat, let's just add a text box so that we have a little bit of an interface to this. Oops. And by default, it comes with the name textbox1. That should be good enough. What I want to do is I want to run some code when this form loads. So I can either come down to this little lightning bolt and on load I can double click in this empty space here and it'll generate the code, or by default if I just double click up here on the form it'll do it. The exact same thing, so I'll just double click there. And what I want to do, just like in the previous tutorials, this section of code will run when I run the application. Let's just run it. Nothing's going to happen because nothing's in there, right? So I want to right click on Windows Forms Application 1. This is the project. And I want to add a new item, or I can add a class. So really my goal is to add a class. It's a new class. I can either click on new item, or this is kind of a shortcut and click on class. I'm just going to click on new item for now. Same thing. What I'm going to call the class, let's just call it house. And I'm going to add it, and you should see over here a house was added. That's the class. Right off the bat, I just want to make this public so that I can access it from my other code. Don't worry too much about that yet. So what I want to do is I want to create a property of this house, and I'm just going to say it's a public integer. It's called SquareFeet. Let's do get and set. So just to make this look a little nicer, that's just a quick trick. You can delete the last curly brace pretty much anywhere and then add it back, and it'll kind of realign everything for you. What I need to do is I need to create a private int SquareFeet also. So I made this lowercase and the property itself is uppercase. Really all I'm doing is when I access SquareFeet from my code in the form, it's going to go through this get, and then I want to return this SquareFeet. So this is actually where it's being stored in this private variable, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. So when I get this SquareFeet in my code, I want it to return the private SquareFeet. So let's just return SquareFeet, all lowercase. When I set it, I want to set lowercase SquareFeet equal to the value. So in setters, a value gets passed in automatically, and I'm just assigning it to SquareFeet. Alright, so now let's use this in my form. So what I want to do is I want to instantiate the object, and what I mean by that is I want to declare a house. So this is the type that I just made, house, and I want to call it, let's just call it Paul's house, is assigned a new house. So what's happening is house, if you think about it this way, house is the blueprint, and when I say make a new house, so new house, it's making a brand new house based on the house blueprint. You'll understand that in a second if you don't understand it yet. So I'm just building Paul's house, and right away I want to say Paul's house dot SquareFeet is assigned to, let's say, I don't know, 800 square feet. It's a tiny house. So what happens, what I'll do is I'll actually put breakpoints for all of this. So I'm going to put a breakpoint here on the return square feet. I'm going to put a breakpoint here on the set square feet. So in this form load, the form's going to load. It's going to create a new house object. So this is the object. Paul's house is the object, and house is the class. So if you think about it, class is really just the type of the object. Hopefully that's not too confusing. So it creates the house, Paul's house, it makes it, and then it says to the house after it's already made. Probably not too realistic, but it says, hey, your square feet is 800. So when it sets it, you should see it stop in this breakpoint, and then when I get it later on, it should stop in this get breakpoint. So let's get it also. So here it's setting the square feet to 800, and now I'm also going to get it. So let's go back to that text box 1 dot text, and I'm just going to have it spit out the square feet of the house. So since it's going to be an integer, I need to convert it to a string and then put it back into the text box. So let's just run this and see what happens. So as we expected, what ended up happening was the house was created. It then set the square feet to 800, and when it does that, it stops at the breakpoint. So here it's saying it passes in the value, which is 800, and square feet currently is 0. So integers by default are 0. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to essentially execute this line of code by stepping over it. And now what I should see is 800 for square feet. The value passed in still 800. So what happened just now was that 800 got placed into square feet, which is 800. And let's keep going. So I'm just clicking on the step out button. And now it's going to try and access this square feet. So it's going to go to the setter. And square feet's 800. It's going to return that. And if I just hover over this, you can see that it's returning 800 for the square feet. Then it converts it to a string. And let's just keep going. And now you can see that the text in this text box is 800. Alright, that should do it for this video. So now you should know at least what an object is. It's the instantiated class. So in this example, it was the house itself, and the class is just a class. It's a type of object. So I think that'll do it for this video. If you have any questions, comments, please write them below. If you like the video, please like the video, subscribe, share, all that stuff. And then in the next tutorial, I'll dive a little bit deeper into object-oriented programming still. Thanks for watching.